Today, our functions really don't have anything to do with numbers as far as calculations go. They will have numbers, but you're not going to be calculating anything. Today, we're going to look at functions that are defined by tables and graphs. Tomorrow, we're going to look at functions that include numbers and calculations and things such as that. So first, if we go up here to the definition of a function, I know we already talked about this, but a function is a correspondence between sets. Between two sets. Between two sets. And the two sets are the domain and the range. And this little sentence right here is the most important sentence on the page. A function is a rule that assigns each input or each x value to exactly one output or one y value. So I can't have an x value. It cannot have more than one output. Okay? So I have two pictures here. So kind of think back to what we did in our bell work and the 8th grade to 2nd grade ratio. Remember, I can't have an 8th grader with more than one 2nd grader. Which one of these is a function? Hadley? The first one, right? There is not an 8th grader that is in charge of more than one 2nd grader. 4 and 11 are both in charge of the 5 2nd grader, but that's okay. Each member in the domain has exactly one member in the range. So this first one is a function. Why is this second one not a function? Christian?
Because you cannot have x go to more than one y.
Right. Okay, well the 1's fine, the 2's fine, but this 3 maps to the 0 and it maps to the 4. So right there, that one correspondence makes it not a function.
So are we just writing function or not a function?
No, that's not even in your homework either.
Okay.
This is the part that's in your homework. I know, how dare I teach you something that's not on your homework assignment? Okay.
How come colors in British?
I don't know, I found it on Google. Okay, here's what you're doing for your homework today.
It's British.
I want to state the domain and the range of the function. And then after that, I want to give each correspondence as a set of ordered pairs. This part is the easy part. I told you your homework's going to be really easy. My members of my domain, remember, they're my x values, or they are the members that are mapped to something in my range. So my domain, if I'm looking at the time and the height chart, my domain is my time. 0, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Those are all members of my domain. My range is the numbers that my domain maps to. So my range, 7, 10, 5, 0, 0, and 3. Now my question to you, do you think I need to write 0 twice?
Yes.
No. If I write 0 twice, does it change what 0 is, or is it still 0? Still 0. I don't have to list it twice.
But what if one of them maps to a 0 and then the other one maps to a 0?
That's fine because I don't have a repeat here in my domain, right?
So if you had a 0 in your domain,
You can repeat in your range. You can have multiples of the same values in your range, not in your domain.
So if
Okay.
there is, then you're just like, no, that's not it, that's not a function.
Yep, and you're not even deciding that today.
Wait, so it's not
Yes.
a function, it's still the same.
If I had another 4 here, or let's say this 8 was really a 0. If this 8 was a 0, well look, I would have had a 0 mapped to 7, and I would have had a 0 mapped to 3. Can't do that. If it were this case, then it would not be a function.
so you can't have a repeat number in the left side.
Yes, and I don't want you to always think it's going to be the left side because in your homework, you're going to have a horizontal table where your domain is the top row, your range is the bottom row. Okay? Think which one is dependent on the other, and you'll kind of see that whenever you get to your homework.
All we're doing is writing the domain and range.
And then I want you to tell me as an ordered pair, because I don't need to write a table. Right? If I want to know which number does 0 map to, okay, we'll map to 7. 0 maps to 7. So as an ordered pair, I would write 0, 7. And then I would write 2, 10. And then I would write 4, 5,
Oh, that's so much.
6,
work.
0, 7, 0, and 8, 3.
That's all we're doing.
Do we have to write the domain out in the
Yep.
window?
Yep. Because I just love torturing you guys.
I thought you loved us.
Okay, well, let's look at the second one. What is my domain?
Your card color.
Car colors. So my domain, now I want the specific members of my domain. My domain is red, silver, black, white, and blue.
Is the domain the X's and the?
Yes. Domains will be your X values. The range are your Y values. You can also think about this. Your domain, your range depends on your domain. So your range is the dependent variable. It depends on this. This 6 doesn't mean anything if you don't know that it's a blue car. But a blue car, you could say, okay, well, there's 6 of them, okay? So if you're trying to decide which is the domain, which one is the range, the domain's usually going to come first anyway.
Can we just put D and R, write all the domains?
Guys can just be a little
What if
lazy.
we get carpal
Yeah,
tunnel?
we are lazy.
You're gonna feel bad.
Okay, what's my range?
8, 24, 24.
8, 15, 24, 18, and 6. Okay, what is my first correspondence as an ordered pair?
Red 8.
Red, 8, silver,
Thomas, you can't.
15, black, 24, white, 18, and blue, 6. Okay, that's a big chunk of what we're doing today.
What's the small chunk?
Small chunk is something you guys already know how to do. On your homework, these oral exercises are going to ask you to state the domain, state the range, and then state the correspondence as an ordered pair. And then the written exercises,
Wait, so that's just this.
I want you to draw a broken line graph for this first function. A broken line graph. Okay, so we're going to have a graph, and we have our 2 axes, right? This is my x-axis. If you were to guess which values are going to go on my x-axis, my domain or my range? Domain. Because my domain are my x values. Which one will go on my y-axis or my vertical? My range. So for the first one, just bear with me. You guys already know how to do this. So my domain in that first function was time. And I have values for time from 0 to 8.
I'm drawing these.
So 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8.
Oh yeah, how do you graph colors?
Okay, my range or my y value is the height. And my height, I have values from 0 to 10. You guys have done line graphs before and you've done bar graphs before. But I don't think you realize that if I look up here, oh, I can't look up there, can I? If you look up at your ordered pair, I could plot 0, 7 on this graph. Oh my gosh, if I can move everything around.
Do you just graph everything on
Z-
So you go over 7 and up that number.
Well, 0 is my x value, so I'm not going to go anywhere. 7 is my y value, so it tells me I'm going to go up 7. If I gave you guys that table, you would probably do this anyway. And I told you to make me a graph, you would probably do this anyway.
Why'd you put it at 7?
Because my first value was 0, 7. Then I had 2, 10,
So that's
Do you
Yeah,
connect
then
it?
you just graph the points.
Do you
I
draw
know.
a
and then 4, 5,
so those are the written exercises.
and 6, 0, 7, 0, and 8,3. Okay, but I want a broken line graph, so what do you think I need to do with these points?
Make it
Draw a line.
squiggly line.
I'm gonna connect them. I drew a broken line graph to represent my data. Yes.
Can we just draw like a box like that? Or do we?
No, this is fine. I don't need you guys to spend a whole lot of time on these. Okay, the other one, we're gonna create a bar graph. It's just as easy. Okay, so thinking along the same line, what is going to go along my x-axis?
Words, numbers.
Which one of them? What is my domain?
Time.
In my other one, in the car colors. Color of cars, and then along my y-axis is going to go number of cars. Okay, my car colors, I have red, silver, black, white, and blue. And my values go up to 24, so I'm going to count by fives.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
Okay, if you look back at your, either your ordered pairs or your chart, the red cars had 8. I'm going to make my bar up to 8. My silver cars, I had 15. The black cars had 24. White cars had 18. And blue cars had 6. Like I said, your graphs don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be extremely artistic. This is basically what I'm looking at.